Okay, everybody, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well on this Wednesday. And we're going to be changing lanes a little bit in this video. We've been talking a lot about Seahawks stuff in the present because the present is really good. We've won 14 games. We got a playoff game in a couple weeks. We're thinking mostly about that kind of stuff. But for this video, we're going to be switching it up a little bit and talking about something that I haven't really talked about that much lately because it's clearly not a priority right now because the Seahawks are doing so well, but let's talk a little bit about the draft. Let's do another mock draft. We're going to call this Mock Draft 3.0, and maybe we'll make it a weekly occurrence that we do a mock draft from here on out. I don't know, but I think it's about time we pay this part of the process a little more attention. So we're going to go through the picks that I have here. Remember, we only have 4, so it's going to be over quick. Give me a like, give me a sub if you're new, and let's get into it. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. Once again, this mock draft will not include any trades. That makes things a little bit too complicated, and I want to keep things simple for now. Again, I do believe that one way or the other, Seattle's going to do some pretty serious trading with their draft picks this year. Either they're going to trade down or they're going to trade picks for players because I don't think this draft is very good, and I think the Seahawks feel the same way. But that's a conversation for another time. So let's get into my mock draft 3.0, starting with our first pick, which, by the way, currently projects on Tankathon to be the 32nd overall pick. So that's pretty cool. If we have the 32nd overall pick, I'll be pretty happy about that. But let's start us off with C.J. Allen, a linebacker from Georgia. So obviously, this would be a great value pick. The need is the question. Obviously, the Seahawks recently gave Ernest Jones a 3-year extension, although he just finished year 1 of that extension. So therefore, he only has 2 years left on that deal, but he's playing really well. He's still young, and it doesn't seem like the injury issues that plagued him earlier in his career are a problem. So there's definitely a sense that he's going to be a long-term Seahawk. Excuse me. So I'm thinking about that other linebacker spot, right, where you've got Drake Thomas, who is a free agent this offseason, but will be relatively easy and relatively cheap to keep. And then you've also got Tyrese Knight, who did not have a very good year this year, but he was also dealing with some injury stuff, and he could come back strong in 2026. So I know that at first blush, people might think we don't really need a linebacker, but I think CJ Allen brings potential to the table that is well far and beyond what Knight or Thomas can bring. And maybe those guys are better right now because CJ Allen is very young. And maybe CJ Allen's a guy you'd have to groom over the course of his rookie year. But I think he could be very, very special in this league. I think he could be one of the best off ball linebackers in football. There's an immense amount of talent here. And I think that CJ Allen could be a very, very good player for this defense. I think that if you let Mike McDonald work with him for a little bit, you could have something very, very special here. And I believe that while it may not help us immediately, it is something that could help this team over the course of the next decade reach a different level. There is a level of potential with CJ Allen that is well beyond anything we have at the position. So that's my first round pick. Now we're going on to the second round pick, which again projects to out to be the last pick in the second round. So that is 64th overall. I have Joshua Josephs, an edge rusher from Tennessee. He was the guy behind James Pierce Jr. these last couple of years. This year he's become a starter and he's been quite good. Um, he's about 240 pounds. He's very quick. He's a very good athlete, so he's a good fit for our defense. He's somebody that can play standing up. He's somebody that can play in a 3-4, or at least play a 3-4 style of edge. And with Boye Mafe probably leaving, you need another. I would call this guy a speed rusher. This guy's more of a pure get after the quarterback guy. He does have some potential stopping the run, but he's not yet great against the run. But for the moment, I think Seattle's pretty good there. DeMarcus Lawrence should be able to give us another good year. You've still got Uchenna Nwosu if you decide to keep him. Obviously, in this timeline, we're not trading for Max Crosby, but I think this works. Remember, Derek Hall has also become a much better player against the run as well. So if you get Joshua Josephs and he ends up being a one-dimensional pass rusher, that's something that I'm willing to live with because he is filling that role on this defense, and we can just try to avoid putting him in bad situations. It's not that hard, especially when you're a rookie. And I think stopping the run is something that he can pick up over time. Okay, so let's move on to the third round now. And this is going to be the last normal pick of the third round. Remember, there are going to be compensatory picks as well. But the third round pick here is Justice Haynes, a running back out of Michigan. Ken Walker might leave this offseason. Kenny McIntosh. I don't know what to think of Kenny McIntosh anymore. His career might be over at this point. It would not surprise me. So I think you're going to need another running back. At the very least, you need a third running back behind Walker and Charbonnet. But Haynes may end up being a decent candidate to just straight up replace Walker and be a backup to Charbonnet. Now, I will admit that Haynes stylistically doesn't really match Walker. Haynes is a powerful running back who also has great top level speed, but he's not very elusive. He's not very shifty. So there is a little bit of a mismatch there where you're going to have a powerful running back like Charbonnet and then another kind of sort of power back like Haynes. The difference is, again, Haynes brings some speed to the table that Charbonnet does not. So I think that it would work. And if he's your third running back, that's great too. So Justice Haynes is my third round pick in this mock. I think he completes the offense or maybe keeps it floating if Walker goes, which I still think is a realistic possibility, but it works either way. And my final pick in this mock draft is all the way down in the 6th round because that's our next pick right now. Eric McAllister, a wide receiver from TCU, a bigger bodied guy, could be somebody that helps replace Jake Bobo because he's probably gone this offseason. Derek Young might also be gone this offseason. We need bigger wide receivers that can play on the outside to help replace those two guys. And I think Eric McAllister is a great candidate for that. He's 6'3". He's a really good deep threat. He does have downfield speed. I think that he can offer some stuff on special teams as well, which is going to be a big part of being a back end of your depth chart receiver in the NFL. So he's my 6th round pick right now. And that is my mock draft 3.0. So little bit trying to follow a little bit of a different path here because I want to try to be creative. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming soon.